Welcome to Highlighting the Journey, where we dive deep into the stories that shape us. From real estate moguls to innovators, entrepreneurs, from life-changing pivots through breakthrough moments, we're here to uncover the paths that lead to success and the obstacles that build character and the insights that inspire action. And I'm your host, Dan the Podcast Man. Today, we're highlighting another incredible journey. Hey everybody, it's Dan the Podcast Man here on Highlighting the Journey. I got my co-host.
Hey now.
Pocket Pete. Today's guest is Sal. Oh, Pete, fill me in before I screw it up.
Rizzolo. Refinance Rizzolo. How about that?
Sal, introduce yourself, pal.
Sal Rizzolo. I work at Nationwide Mortgage Bankers now. I've been in the business for 8 or 9 years. And I'm happy to be on my first podcast and going on 4 years now.
Wait a minute.
This number one?
This is number one?
In the last 4 years. It's been about 4 years since I've been on a podcast.
What was the last one?
Charles's.
Oh, interesting.
What?
Yeah, nobody likes me.
Who knew?
The amount of content that you put out there, bro, and you're not on a podcast?
Maybe my phone was on mute. I'm not sure.
Oh, there we go. You're a very difficult person, by the way, to get a hold of.
That's
And
not-
you know that.
I know, but it's not normal. It's we're working on it.
Why is it not normal?
So I mean, our business has influxed in the past 60 to 90 days, which just so happens
I
to be
heard,
the time
yeah.
that. So
Congratulations, by the way, man. That's sick.
Thank you. So we everyone on our team was taking steps back to do things that they wouldn't normally do because we didn't have enough manpower to do what we normally did.
Yep.
Made some new hires now. Everything is back to normal. So this was a much more comfortable day than the last time I had to unfortunately cancel on your podcast.
Are you comfortable right now?
Physically, yes.
Mentally, no.
We're working on that.
You're working on that?
Yeah, he's been blowing up. It's been insane. And what's beautiful about it is when you get a bunch of wonderful things thrown at you, which he has, his business, the quadruple?
Triple.
It tripled. Your systems get strained, and then you get to redo your systems so that you're a beautiful machine. And he did that in 30 days. He revamped everything.
Yeah, if you don't sometimes it's hard to find the weak points, but if the system starts breaking, the weak points present themselves.
Do you have a concept of time right now?
No, 24 hours in a day, and you have to use as many of them as you can. Try not to sleep; it wastes time.
So, what's your average start time? What time you wake up?
This is so skewed because it hasn't been like this. I enjoyed the last few years. I went on a ton of vacations. I had my fun. More recently now, it's 5:30, 6 o'clock, wake up, and then midnight, 1 o'clock, go to sleep, and I'm working in one way, shape, or form. But again, that's it's slowly starting to settle down. It won't be like that for much longer.
I got you. Listen, it's the growing pain and the process of that. From that time period, how many phone calls?
It's uncountable.
It's like you too, right?
So what I did was I got a second phone so that I could take my original cell phone number and create an office line out of it.
Yep.
Make it an Android so that I could download Google Messages on multiple computers.
Yes.
And that's just the office line, and now my personal line is
we got to
now
stick to the iPhone. I'm sorry.
is now an Apple phone.
Excuse me.
So, but that's I've been calling the people that I want to have the number, and they're like, "Oh, who is this?" I'm sending out that number, but eventually that 946 number that I've had since the flood. I mean, I've had it since I was 16 years old. Wow. It's an office line now. It's I get 150.
It has grown.
200. Yeah.
It has matured.
Yeah, it's a beautiful system. So when you're Sal, and you've become what he's become, people still want to feel like they're getting you.
Of course.
So but
I never got him. I tried so hard.
Yeah.
And
And I apologize for that.
no, you don't have to apologize, man. It's you're just
Well, that's the
everybody
man.
everyone wants to utilize you. I don't blame you. Why would I want to reach out to the person I'm here is doing the best business? And if I don't get him, okay, he's that busy. Even with the contractors. If I'm not getting this contractor at my house, remodel Rob, it's literally impossible because he's good and he's the best in the business and everybody wants it and they want to see him. I want to see him. I want to see you.
That's the problem with running a business is you go through these phases of you're out there, you're busting your ass, you're creating a name for yourself. That's actually the worst thing in the world is you create a name for yourself instead of your corporation and your process, right? But that's the first thing you do as a hustler. You don't know any better, especially people like the working class guy, people like me that grew up and Sal that grew up cutting hair, working construction. It was about making a name for yourself so people want to keep hiring you, right?
Did somebody just do your beard?
Yeah, how good?
Who
do
the
I
hell
look?
did that?
By the way, Vanessa loves what you did, and now I have to go to a barber unless I meet up with you once a week. How often do I have to fix my beard?
Talk about working backwards. So you would have to let your hair grow for like a good 2 to 3 weeks. Then you would shave it all down, get it to be the same length. Then you'd outline it to where you were missing spaces before, and then it would look like one of those beards on TV. It's like a 2-week thing.
Okay, so I actually have to shave.
First, you have to let it grow in, and then you have to buzz it down. You have to let it grow and not touch it yourself.
And then come in
and let them work with a clean canvas.
Oh, that's interesting. So I'll go back down to I'll almost be.
Yeah, you should trim it down to where you're comfortable, and then let it grow in for like a good 2 or 3 weeks, and then come and have someone shape it out.
We're gonna have a whole project. How long will I have to be in this like construction phase of my face?
2 weeks.
Okay,
I'm assuming
I
you
can
do
do
this
that.
fast.
But what I love about this, I know I cut you off. I'm gonna get back to what you were saying about the working class guide. Well, when was the last time you went to the barber? Was your wedding before your wedding?
The barber?
The barber, yeah.
The last time I went to the barber was 1 month before my first marriage.
Yep.
Where my barber is, barber's a sacred person in your life.
Oh, 100%.
I had a sit down in the chair. I go, is it time?
Sit down.
Is it time?
Is it time? And we did a full video revolution of my forehead and made the hard decision that it was time. And I didn't know.
It was a hard decision amongst you two. He was losing a client. You had to shave your hair. I see what's happening here.
Yeah. It was a big moment, and retrospectively, a moment that was 5 years too late. So I definitely was hanging on.
And so was he.
I'm sure. Right. And looking
Have you had that conversation with clients?
It's not that bad yet. You got a few more years.
Right.
You got some time.
So what I wanted to mention, I just love the fact that, well, you do pull off the bald look incredibly. I just love that you are bald, and he was a barber, and like it's just like these two worlds like colliding into each other, but
no ulterior motives.
Ulterior motives. Do you remember what you were saying about the working class guide?
I was saying working people, hustlers,
Yes,
live their life, especially when they start a business, building their name for themselves.
Right.
And then the flood of phone calls that happens once you hit that period where you've really hustled your way to have that name, then it all comes to you, and then the system can break. And then you got to start building systems around those flood of phone calls where people start realizing they can have the essence of you, but not always exactly you. And that second phase is really hard. A lot of people go out of business being
really
amazing.
Wow.
Because it's two different. You're essentially creating two different things. You're going from hustler. The transition from hustler to CEO is a tumultuous one, and there's a lot of loss and death, or being stuck in the overwhelm for life for a lot of people, and people don't even realize they're in it. So you first got to realize you're in it. Which Sal got the hard lesson that he was.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you feel like you're in that right now?
I am fighting my way out of it. So from what I've seen is, and I asked Pete to lunch, and like the first thing I asked Pete was like, was there ever a point in your business where you were working so much that you didn't have time to sleep? And he was like, yeah, and he knew exactly what I was going through. And as soon as he said yes, I had hope because I knew that it could be done, and I just wasn't sure, because when you put yourself in a business where you hire underneath you, everyone that you hire doesn't know as much as you know about what they're supposed to do.
Right.
So if I could do everything that everyone on my team can do better than them, I'm always going to feel like there's an element of like, let me just get on the phone and handle this.
Yeah.
So I have Yama, who's my right hand, and Yama fucking knows everything. Probably in some cases knows more of the guidelines than I do. But when there's an issue, I have to be the one to get on the phone. So in theory, I am better at everything that Yama does for one reason or another. Maybe I don't know the guidelines, but I could talk a little bit easier to the customer. Or there's the element of the customer knows that I'm above him. So when they get me on the phone,
Yeah.
the same way that you said, like, what if I sent Yama here? And I was like, yo, I have a conversation with Yama. He's just as good as me. You'd be like, well, I don't have Yama.
I want Sal.
Right.
Sorry, Yama.
So I had to come to make like a conscious realization that, like, you're never going to make 100% of everything that you could have made if you did everything yourself. But if you did everything yourself, you're never going to make 100% of what you can make as a company.
Man, that's. I mean, it's quite incredible. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you, man?
37.
You're 37. Wow.
I thought I was 38 on my 37th birthday for 6 hours.
That
was
so
real.
you have really lost the
I'm
concept.
aging myself.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really lost the concept
I
of
felt
time.
like I got a year that day, though. So
Well done.
I was
Yeah.
very happy.
But yeah, I understand the person driving behind it, and it's like, you know it, Pete. You know it, Sal. We have certain personalities, and certain people just feel better talking to us. And it'd be that same person that knows exactly how the system works, exactly how to do it. They know even better than me, but they just don't know how to talk to them.
Yeah, and that comes to two things. One of my favorite sayings is we get paid proportionally by the words that we choose. And so when I'm talking to clients or my agents, I know if I say things the right way, I can create the world in which everybody wins. And
I fucking love you.
I'm a master at that. A master at that.
I love when he does this. He's just like, I'm just like, what? Like, Pete,
When
what,
Pete,
what,
when Pete
what
sends
wisdom?
somebody over to me, it's like I never played sports, but I assume T-ball, like where it's just like a giant softball on like a needle, and then you just have one of those giant wiffle ball bats. Like I don't even have to spend any time on the phone. You know, and Pete said Pete will be one of the people to call me and be like, I want to understand if I'm explaining this 3-2-1 buy down right. I'm like, I wish half of my people were calling me to make sure they were explaining it right. So, you know, you have the people that, but Pete doesn't just take it so that he could explain it. He takes it so that he could implement it, systemize it, and then make it a part of his business. I don't want to hijack this, but
Go ahead, hijack.
I had a lunch with Pete and one of my, well, I don't want to.
You're the guest, by the way, so I want to hear about it.
But borderline business partner at this point that's responsible for a big influx of the business, and I don't even want to say who it is yet because we're going to throw an event soon. But we had a lunch with Pete, and this was when we had like a big conversation about everything going on, and we got home that night, and there was cookies on the kitchen counter. And like when I opened it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I knew, but I totally forgot. And then I opened it, and not only were there cookies, but there was a book, and it was handwritten for sure. And then there was a video inside of a thing. And not only, you know, Michelle was like, I got to do this for my employees, and this is insane, and this is amazing, and like, but that will forever remain, and that was completely unnecessary because I was the one that went to Pete with my problem to begin with. But if that took Pete 8 hours to do, he wouldn't be able to do it. So whatever he's done, he's figured it out, he's implemented it, he's made it just the right amount of personalization so that you feel like, holy shit, this guy took his time out.
100%.
But it's a business model now, and that's
right.
that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's why I follow.
So I appreciate that, man. And let me say, like, because I have a feeling I want to create in people because I love people, and, you know, I love Sal, and I'm proud of him. Yes, don't give me a look. I love Sal. I love you too, Dan. Take it easy.
There's plenty of love to go around.
Oh, yeah.
So I know I want to be able to create I want to be able to express and create feelings in people the way I want them to feel because I love what I do and I know what I want to happen. I'm going to sell 100 houses this year. I can't do that with 100 people if I'm baking the cookies, if I'm doing each step. So I need to create a process in which I can have the highest amount of impact on people with a system that gets that to the most amount of people. And that only happens if you sit and go, what do I demand out of my company, out of my people? What do I want them to experience? And then how do I put the systems in place to be able to do that to as many human beings as humanly possible? Because that's how you have an impact.
Yeah.
So that's how I live and think.
So I think it's the soft eyes, by the way. So I think
Yeah.
that's, but for you, Sal, you mentioned all that stuff. ever since I started working and hooking up with Pete in the sense of just networking and buying a property from him, my life has just gotten like 100 times better. I just don't know what there is.
You think it's my radiance?
But listen, you said you want to create this feeling and everything. Yeah. I'm already having the impact because I just went to you that one day and I'll still mention the story. I'm like, you want to do a podcast? Like, yeah, sure. I'm like, what? Really? Podcast? Cool.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's like the oldest saying in the book is like, you're a mix of the 5 people above you or the five people you hang out with or whatever it is.
100%.
You got to realize that the people above you that hang out with you for a reason, and then so do the 5 people below you. So you have a responsibility to the people below you as you do the people above you.
I never thought about it that way. That's really good, man.
And it's not even a responsibility that you're conscious of, but like when you hang out with someone that you know you have something to offer and you're willing to give your time to that person, if that person respects it and finds value in it, they're going to follow you up or they're going to disappear into darkness.
Yeah.
It can't last forever, on totally different playing fields, I think.
Well, at the end of the day, I have learned this recently too. Is like I'm just a giant mirror to people of all the things they're not doing, and they're uncomfortable with me. And I'm finally understanding that feeling, and that's not what I want. I want people to thrive. I want them to succeed. I want you to crush it because that's how my brain goes. Like, remember I asked Pete this question. It's like, you ever thought about quitting when you did real estate? You're like, and you're just like, no, never thought about it. Never thought about throwing in the towel. I was like really blown away by that statement. But I thought about myself too. It's like, I always knew I was supposed to do something great when I was young as a kid. I knew I was just not supposed to live the average life. I never will accept that. And I want everybody to see, but we know realistically that's not the case.
I love that. When you said that to me, that was the first time I thought about even thinking about it. I never crossed my mind, but it wasn't because.
Sorry, it made you self-doubt.
No, yeah, but retroactively, retroactively a decade.
Should I quit?
But yeah, for me, it was a little different. Like I'm in my heart Rocky Balboa. Like it wasn't about the win. It's about I'm not leaving the fight. Like I want to be in the struggle, and if I win, I win.
Yeah.
But I never thought about quitting because then I'll just pick another fight.
Yeah.
But anyway, Sal, thanks for coming in, man. Very difficult, by the way, to get you on here.
There's only one reschedule.
Yeah. But we got you here, man. I'm excited because I watch your content, which, man, whoever's filming your stuff is doing a fucking sick job. You got a lot of moving parts. I really want to dive back into your story a little bit. Like, so let's start simply. Where'd you graduate and like, where'd you start? I know you cut hair previously before getting into a very large amount of handling of money. So I'll let you take the reins.
So I graduated barely, Deer Park High School.
Okay.
And the reason I graduated barely was because somewhere around like junior year, senior year, I started working at the barbershop. So I would like consciously pick the days that I wanted to go to school and the days that I wanted to cut hair. I was also selling bootleg DVDs. It's been in over 7 years now, so let's just throw it out there.
Did you hold on? Pause. In the shop, did you have did you have the tower computer where they were making the copies of all
those are at the house.
Gotcha. I just want to see what
at one point I was making 250 DVDs an hour.
What was like the hottest DVD? Dark Knight?
From what I heard,
I feel like the Dark
believe
Knight.
It or not, yeah, because it leaked out. Dark Knight leaked out before it came into the theaters. What was the Liam Neeson movie where he was
Taken?
just fucking shit? Yeah, yep. Taken came out like a year before Taken was taken. So I started pushing that in the shop, and then like 4 months before it came out in the theaters, the trailers came on, and I was like, oh shit! And I was just selling like 20 of them at a time to people that wanted to give them out to family members, Christmas time.
That was like the thing.
How much are you making slinging DVDs?
Slinging DVDs.
There were like $3,000-$4,000 weeks.
Oh,
Ow.
DVDs, yeah. But I used to go to Queens to pick up the bootlegs. I mean, to pick up the blanks.
What a drug deal, man.
My sister used to sometimes put the wrong cover on like 300 DVDs. Garbage instantly.
Garbage.
But I never sold ones that didn't have good quality, and I never sold anything that didn't have a picture on the disc. So I had like a brand almost.
Do you remember that time when we first saw that you can copy a CD?
Do I remember it?
I remember that.
I seen dollar signs the second that happened.
I just seen the 2 discs go in and it makes the copy. I was like, no way.
Everybody was making bootleg or making like mixtapes
Of
for
course.
their girlfriends, and I was charging them $5 to make the mixtapes.
This
so that
guy's
they
a
could give it to
hustler,
their
man.
girlfriend. All right.
Selling bootleg DVDs.
To cutting hair. That both of those lasted simultaneously until around 2014, 15. And then as the DVDs phased out, I got into the mortgage business. So it was almost like instant, because I remember I brought the book to the mortgage bank maybe a few times, and then there was just so much going on between mortgages and cutting hair that I
What a
cut.
dynamic.
Yeah. In the midst of all of that, I went to school for court stenography. And
Really?
yeah, I graduated for that, and I did it for one day, and I quit.
There's no way you could sit there.
And not talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was miserable. I did it for one day. And that was like a $10,000 investment. I was all in on it, and then when I got home, I was like, this is fucked up, because this was my game plan for life, and now if I'm not going to do it, I'm going to be stuck at the shop. So that's when I started banging the phones for the mortgage business, and I juggled that and the barbershop. And then in 2016, right during the election, the interest rate shot up, refis disappeared. So I started doing real estate and mortgages and the barbershop.
So just very simply, so I guess cutting hair was not your passion.
No, it never was. I never liked it, honestly. I enjoyed the people that I would meet.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed, making $40, $50 every half hour, every 40 minutes.
I gotcha. Cutting people's hair, I would assume that you were able to build a nice clientele, or no?
And that's how I walked
Oh,
into
that's
the
how you
business.
started. Okay, yeah.
With a sphere of influence, yeah. Cutting hair. I mean, that's the person that got me into the business. My mentor in the business was one of my clients at the barbershop.
Wow. So what was like the pivot in the time frame? I know we're at like 2019 when the interest rates go up. What was the pivot with saying, yeah, I got to go all in on the mortgages?
October 2019, I was offered a branch at Cardinal Financial if
In Patchogue, right?
No, that was the office I opened.
Gotcha.
Cardinal, I started in October of 19. We left United in 18 to Cardinal, and October of 19, they said, we'll give you a branch if you leave the barbershop behind, and then we would like you to hang your real estate license too, so that we have faith in you. You focus. And then 3 months later, the whole world almost ended, and then rates went down to 2%, and the timing was perfect.
Wow.
That was October. By the time I got my footing, the refi business shot right back to the roof.
You were just right there to strike.
Right place, right time.
Wow. And so I only heard stories, and obviously correct me if I'm wrong. You built the place in Patchogue, that brokerage. How do you build a brokerage? I have like no idea. Like how does that work?
So the term brokerage and like bank are actually different, believe it or not. So we're direct lenders, so we're a bank. Brokers are, they don't underwrite anything in-house. They sell everything off, and they send it out. So I was just a branch of Cardinal. So Cardinal's main division headquarters was in Melville. And I lived in Patchogue, and we were ambitious at the time. And it was 2022 when we opened that branch. So, just as quick as I got in, because rates were down, the second I opened the doors to that branch, the rates went up to 6%. And then I had I guess it doesn't matter if I have $14,000 a month office that I was paying for, that nobody, in a business that no one even wanted to get into.
Yeah.
So everybody talks about, buying a Lamborghini and then having to have it towed off. That was my equivalent of like, and we kept it because I don't give a fuck. Like I was just gonna make it happen. No, we kept it until I left Cardinal.
Gotcha.
But we had no good guy clause, and they were saying we weren't going to be able to whatever. I said, fuck it, we'll just roll it. We just kept the office, and we kept going there. But then when people didn't want to come into the office, it would piss me off, because I was like, we're paying all this money for the office.
I'm sorry.
Go,
Pete.
You need the office for your team to work out of, not because clients aren't going to the office, right?
Well, the idea originally was that we would do a whole bunch of community-driven activity to generate business in and around Patchogue and that area. So Live After 5 was a big thing back then. It kind of still is. We would do stuff on the sidewalk. We would go from different places and get like coasters and stuff. But it ended up, like you said, like we didn't have enough clientele ever as foot traffic to justify having an office of that size and that price. So if I ever did it again in the future, it would be something similar to this type of area, where it's not necessarily a million people that see it and drive by, but it's a nice space and it's convenient for people to get to.
Yeah, office space is becoming useless.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, all my lending, I I don't go to the office. The only time I go to the office is to close.
Yeah.
That's the only time I go there. You know.
Yeah, I think I have 30 agents that work for me. I have, I'll see 3 of them a week. You know, they don't have to come. I talk to them, but
It's sad. I miss it. I miss the office
camaraderie?
mentality. Yeah, the gong, the sales, who's selling what, who's lazy, who's not showing up to the office, who gets made fun of.
Yeah.
That's how it was for us, you know.
But it is sad because the people you work for, like we're mentioning the 5 people that you hang out with and be with. It's the same thing, you know. I've been mentioning like when I go into work, I want to be with the people I want to hang out. I spend a large amount of time at work, and the people I'm hanging out with, I want to have a good time.
Borderline your family. You spend more time with them than your family sometimes.
Yeah, and it sucks when it's like what you're explaining to me. It's like, yeah, you miss the camaraderie, even the banter, the who's getting, whatever. You can't do that on the phone. There's not face to face is always that. But obviously things are evolving, and we have to understand that. But also make time for ourselves. Like I know a big component, I think is a great segue, man, is like you started an event, Wintervention. Like how did that come about, man?
So Wintervention was so it started with Workaholics, and it was Charles Weinrob, the handsome home buyer, was a big start to a lot of what I did. The first thing he ever told me was you have to do content, and if you're not doing content, you're getting left behind. So I said, I hate content. I don't have anybody to film. I don't know what to do. So he called me and he's like, Levy's leaving my company. You should hire him.
Oh man, Levy's gonna love hearing this. And I just had Charles on too, man. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, and Charles was great. Levy was great, and all of the initial skits that we did. But the second thing that Charles told me was you should throw an event, and I was like, all right. I want to put a spin on it. I don't want it to be like everything else. Sometimes I go overboard with the stuff that I do or the content, but like I just can't.
You're not.
I just don't want to sift into like if everybody's like you should do content, like, now I'm going to do content and I'm going to just make sure that it stands out. So
it's Sal's content.
So I said, all right, let's do an event. Let's do it as a fundraiser. Who are we going to raise money for? We'll raise money for something that has affected my family tremendously. We decided on substance abuse and mental health. Substance abuse is around my family. Mental health is me in 3-4 years, I'm assuming.
So just to give you a little background, I have both.
Yeah.
I'm recovered, and
I didn't know.
I'm 6 years. This year will be 6 years of sobriety, and then simultaneously the mental disorder and actually the addiction part. They're right next to each other. So I love that. I didn't even know that.
Well,
so,
congratulations, and I'm glad to hear that.
It's so funny. People congratulate me, and I appreciate that. But it's just like I'm living the fucking best life ever.
Well, people congratulate people on things that they wish that they could do. So, for instance,
but you want to be sober?
It's funny you say this because I was out with Michelle the other night and she was like, every time you guys network, you drink, and I'm like, that's just what we do. And she's like, could you not drink?
Ooh.
And I was like, yeah, why not? And she's like, really? I'm like, I'll do 90 days. So I'm at 45 days.
Nice.
But it's not necessarily, to never drink again. But yeah, you realize once you're in it, like you go out for a drink, then you do it. So whatever. But now the events that are focused around it. So basically.
Oh man, I got to piggyback off that conversation, but continue with your event.
I know.
We could talk about. I got you, man.
So Workaholics became. So my idea was, I've been familiar with the meetings. I'd gone with my parents. I
got you, man.
So we spoofed an AA meeting, but instead of Alcoholics Anonymous, we did Workaholics Anonymous.
Nice.
Right? So everybody got up. Brian Karp did it. Brian Karp helped us out. Catherine, we had a bunch of like the big names. And it's the very beginning of my Instagram where we just started.
I'll scroll.
And it was, I've been working so hard. I haven't seen my family. I haven't did this. So the idea was every once in a while you need to take a break. So Workaholics Anonymous was the party that we would throw once a year to remind yourself that we're working for a reason, right? And then 6 months later, when it got to winter, we're like, that shit was a banger. We might as well throw another party. How are we going to do it? What are we going to call it? Well, we got to tie it back to what we did originally. So what happens when a workaholic keeps working? They need a Wintervention.
Oh, God.
So we did another skit.
That's great. It's awesome.
Where my team basically waited for me at the house because I was working too hard. And when I popped up at the house, they were all sitting there waiting for me. And they put me in a circle. and they sent me on vacation for 14 days. And these were where the skit started. So for 14 days, I was supposed to be gone, and they were holding down the office. After 14 days, I didn't come back. So I used the time that I wasn't there. This was all skitted out.
Yeah.
But I used that time to introduce the business partners that I worked with, the people that I did. And my Instagram was everything but me for almost 45 days. And that's what led up to Wintervention. So we collaborated it with everyone else. They came to the office. We did skits. The guys we worked with in Brooklyn, like everybody else got their screen time. And then Wintervention, we just, mashed out. It was a great time. And that became what we were known for. But Workaholics and Wintervention was originally a fundraiser for substance abuse and mental health. And that's where the names came from.
Dude, I love that backstory. That was so awesome, so creative too. They did that 14 days of not having you on there, and just it's not about you. And you're showcasing the people that you entrust, you're doing it. That's what I love about this podcast. It's like I want to showcase. I don't need to showcase, so you know who you are. But I'm just saying, certain people that don't have this outlet, and I'm able to provide that outlet. And look what this person's actually doing. And I love that you did that. And by the way, your content, bro. Like I told you, whoever's doing it is doing a great job. Like the last leading up to your Wintervention was so good, dude.
Thank you.
And I gotta give you some props because the rap was good, dude. It was good. Come on, me and Pete were just like, "What's going on here?" And my wife was like, "Is he rapping up there?"
Yeah, a lot of the comments were like, I thought this would be trash, but it's actually I'm like, that's fucking great. That's the best comment I've ever had in my life. On YouTube? Who gets a good comment on YouTube?
Nobody. Oh man, I love when I get bad comments. I just message them back. I'm like, oh my God, you're so right. I should just stop doing the podcast. I'm like, I should just stop. But the fact that you're not afraid to look stupid, and ultimately it's like the price of admission that you're paying, that you're going to have something much, much bigger at hands. I don't care how I look at this point. Like, shoot the content, say whatever it is, and to go out there and do what you did, man. Like I said, it's just, I love what you've been putting out there. It's awesome, dude. You're entertaining as hell.
Thank you. Yeah, I made a conscious decision to like I like self-deprecating, because it's just like, if I'm going to make fun of me, how are you going to make fun of me?
That's right.
And when you do make fun of me, if you do make fun of me, you better be doing more business than me or making more money than me.
Ooh.
So I kind of just make sure I stay ahead of it in both ways, right? And then that just keeps me motivated, because I don't want to ever put anyone in a position where they can make fun of me and be like, yeah, look at how stupid this kid looks. That's why he's not doing as good as me.
Yeah.
So I just try to be conscious of the image that I put out there, and who knows if it's going to have to change. But right now it's still, I can still be a clown, I think.
Was there a moment, obviously, from that time period? I know you went through a lot. There was a lot of changes in your life. I had a conversation with you, how you switched everything over. You were no longer a Cardinal and all this stuff. Was there still in that time frame? Haven't you had it yet? Where you're like, not like I made it, but like you're just like, wow, this is my life. Like you just like sat back for like 5 seconds, maybe in your office or wherever you are, maybe home. Have you had that moment?
Yeah, pretty recently, actually, because all the way through, like the barbershop to Cardinal to Nationwide, there was never like, like I know people that take like 10 or 12 day vacations. I don't remember the last time where I had 2 days in a row where I didn't have to do anything at all. But to be able to really sit back and realize that you're working to create the life that you have when you're not working. So if you're never not working, what the fuck are you working for?
Yeah.
But I like working. And that was part of my realization, because like my sister said to me, like, well, now that everything is on track and you're finally like caught up and everything is good, like you could maybe stop working as much. And part of me was like, well, now I'll be working because I want to, and not because I have to. And then when I want to buy back my time, I will. But right now, like, this is finally starting to pay off.
It's prime time, baby.
Yeah, I'm not fucking. It's double down time.
You double down, and I love. People like, oh, you're gonna retire. Like, that's not about retiring for me. It's to have the freedom and the capability. I'm going to work to the day I die. I know who I am.
Do it on your terms and doing what you want to do. Of course, somebody that goes to a job that they hate and works hours that they don't want to work is going to tell you that you work too much, because that's what work is to them.
Yeah.
When they go to work, if you hate the second you wake up to the second you go to sleep Monday through Friday, it's no wonder that you have to get a vacation 3 times a year. Like, there'll be times where, if I want to go away for a month, my business will be running and I'll take a small hit, but I'll be able to. But right now, there's nowhere I want to be for a month.
No, I got you, man. I take months off and go to Italy because I have a house there, and I spend I do that. But then I'm in Italy like third week. I'm like, okay, I gotta get out of here. I love Italy. My wife's like, we gotta live here. I'm like, you live here? I'm going back to New York because I want the rat race.
The beauty of also, as you're growing and as you're building a team with you, you get to do the things you love to do. Because like a lot of my business, I don't love. But now I'm at the position where I go, that is what Jamie's great at.
There you go.
That is what Katie's great at. This is for Sandy. This is for Gordon. And I just get to do the things that I'm best at and I enjoy. So you don't have to stop working, although I do have to work on that. But you can create a life where you're doing only the things that really fire you up.
That's the beauty behind it. You know what you're good at. You know what it is. For me, I know I love talking to people. I love having conversations. I love all that aspects of it. But like doing the numbers and all that, I'm not good at. That's why my wife fills in that gap for me. But I have people for everything now. For my real estate, like my contractor, I just have him there. Like, I'm gonna give you the keys. Go remodel the house. I don't want to see it. I don't want to pay attention. I know how to remodel the house. And there's a part of me that says, yeah, I like it, but then I'm halfway through it, I'm like, why the hell did I decide to paint this house for 4 days straight when I could have just hired somebody? Why am I doing this? Yeah. So I don't have to do any of those things anymore, and it's great because now I get to have all the, like, oh, these are things I enjoy, and I'm just gonna have people pay for it. And yes, do I pay a lot of money to film a podcast? Absolutely. And when I tell people, like, what are you, crazy? I'm like, yeah, but I'm passionate about it. I love this. This is what's keeping going. It's like, well, how many views you got? Like, what does that matter? It doesn't matter. I don't care. It's just like, I want to have fun. I want to have a good time, and I know this. And everybody talks about it now. Like everybody talks podcast race, blah blah blah. I'm like, great.
Yeah, if you could work things that you enjoy doing into your work like this, and there's a dollar sign or a potential monetary value behind this. You don't know what it is yet or what it might be, but like me going on Charles's podcast, I mean, I know I made Charles a ton of money. Charles definitely made me a ton of money. I can't put a dollar sign on it. I don't know how many deals I actually got because of Charles or the people but like this is something that maybe it doesn't make you money, maybe it does, but maybe something doesn't forever. Like anything you do might or might not make you money.
And it will always make something good out of it. Because like let's say you're gonna, and it takes time to build up a podcast to have views.
100%.
But Charles, and Charles is a great example. He's not doing the podcast to get views. He's doing a podcast to sit with somebody to build a relationship so that when they
100%.
want to give, when they have a flip or
100%.
Right. That's the goal, is the relationship. So yeah, I got 7 views in 12 houses. Like that's
more meaningful.
The idea.
You and me, I have you on. I'm buying a house from you now.
Yeah, boom.
Like boom.
Right.
But and it's so much. Like even James, helped me produce this podcast, and he films behind here. He said it best. There's no ROI. There's no
documentable ROI.
You can't quantify like, oh, this is how much you're making from this, and it's just like the fact that I called Charles. I'm like, you want to be on my podcast? And he said yes. First I took a shot. And he's like, yeah, I'll be on it. Because Charles is the one that went there on the East Coast RIA meeting. He's like, you want to know a secret? And I'm like, yeah, tell me a secret. What's the secret?
Asked me to do a podcast, is that what he said?
Yeah. No, he's like, start a podcast.
Yep.
You want to know how to get people in front of you? Start a podcast. People want to talk about themselves. Just do it. Yep. And then when I stepped in this studio, I was like, bingo, let's get where's Pocket Pete?
Yeah. Yep. Charles is amazing. He'll say yes. Like he's there for the whole community.
Charles is a clone.
Yeah.
He's got 3 or 4 clones.
Yeah. Because
really?
There's no way he could be as many places as he is.
Well, I've seen the beauty of it. He's very disciplined. Is like I've had him be part of events that I've thrown where I'll call him up and like, listen, we're throwing this charity event. We need help. He goes, we got 2 weeks. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. He goes, all right, what do we got to do? Let's get more people. And he'll throw himself all the way in, do content.
He's all nothing, man. He's like us. He's all nothing.
Then he'll get there. He knows he's on at 9 p.m. He'll get there at 8:45, walk up, kill it,
slam it, and
get the hell out.
Yeah.
So that he can just keep his time and provide for the community.
And I hope he hears this. Like, you never see him run. He's never late. he's like, anytime you sit down to dinner with Charles, he just seems like it's all under control. And he'll tell you, he's like, nah, it's a shit show, bro. It's a fucking mess every day. Like, I don't even know how I control all this. But you get him on the phone, he doesn't rush you off the phone. Like, Charles just has it down. Like, but Charles understands that, like, he can't do everything. So he limits his phone time. He limits his screen time, appearance time. But there was a point in time where Charles's highest and best use was showing up at events. This guy was at every event. Every event. I haven't seen Charles out in months. But Charles used to be at every event. Same with the podcast, same with everything. There's more than one way to grow a business. And it's just that some people focus on the ones that, I pay for a lead and I make this much money. That's not it. And this business on Long Island, that's probably the last beneficial way to try to grow a business is by, paying for leads that have to turn into money right away.
Of course.
I've seen the relationships work out here.
Incredible. This is, man, I'm so happy you're here, man. This is such a great conversation. Pete, I want you to take the reins now, my friend. And you have a mission, right?
I have a mission.
Let's get into it, baby.
Should you choose to accept it?
This is my mission.
What's your mission?
All right. So,
do I choose to accept this?
yeah, I mean, Sal's here because he is part of our Working Class Guide to Getting Rich. He's going to be an integral part because he's going to be helping us teach working men and women, W-2 employees, how to build wealth. And this is my mission in life, is to take what my hopes and dreams were when I was a 20-something-year-old union iron worker, waking up every day at 4 a.m, driving in traffic to the city, getting home at 6, 7 o'clock at night, falling asleep in my soup, getting a paycheck, getting a very good paycheck, but knowing like I can either buy something with this, buy a house, but like it will go away if I don't do something with it. But I didn't know what the fuck to do.
Ooh.
And
I really don't hear you curse.
I curse here and there because that's how you create impact.
Emphasis.
When you don't curse and then you curse,
Yep.
impact.
Yeah.
So
It's like, fuck you or fuck you.
So we would be like talk about you hear about this penny stock and like we talk about all this crazy
Get rich
bullshit.
Get rich quick, baby.
This get rich quick stuff because we didn't know, and we knew like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy a house, I'm gonna invest. I did, but it was all just talking because without the process and the systems and really the mindset that has to change to know that it really is possible. Nobody did anything. There's a handful of guys that invest that broke out, but it's not well known through the middle class that you don't have to be rich to get rich.
Of course. And I want to kind of ask you to prompt you up this question for you and Sal. So when people talk about financial stuff, it sounds scary, especially when you don't know what you don't know. You mentioned 1,000 times. So once you understand the financial side of it, it's not that complicated,
Right.
of course. And so, like, I want to ask, like, maybe help me out with asking Sal, like, where's Sal going to fit in with all this, with educational wise for these people? Because that's the thing when I talk to these guys, like, really, I can use my 401k, I can use my retirement and make a self-directed RA and actually buy like stuff in that nature. So I don't know how you want to get geared up for Sal.
So, well, let me just say this about Sal. He's the most creative, knowledgeable mortgage banker I've ever spoken to, and I've spoken to I think everyone in our network.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a deal with Charles that you made happen? Like you said,
There
it was
plenty of deals with Charles.
no. It was like a certain deal that you've been piggybacking off. You said it at the Rio.
Oh, that was a family member of his deal, because he
Really?
reached out to like 8 or 9 people.
Okay.
And then he just on a whim was like, "Hey, you can't get this done either, right?" And I remember the deal like it was clockwork. But the long story short, the first thing I did after Charles asked me to do the deal was go to my boss and be like, "We're doing this deal. I don't care what the fuck we're doing this deal. I don't care if you have to lend him the money personally." But we found a way to do it through conventional guidelines. There wasn't anything hairy on it. It was just a very small oversight that everybody missed and forgot to ask.
Wow.
And I asked.
And that was it?
Yes, and it's my secret.
Hold on to that. But go on, Pete.
Yeah, so he has a depth and a simplicity, which is the perfect recipe for growth, is having depth and simplicity. So he can take the things, the tools that exist and put them in terminology that I understand, that I can articulate to everyone else. He's going to do it on stage for everybody to help them know how simple it is to use their income to create wealth. It's a beautiful thing. And he can go so deep. We had a conversation the other day. I gave him a $2.8 million buyer, and the thing is a mess. And he spoke to me about what he was going to do to get it across the finish line, and I recorded it so that I can listen to it 3 times so I can understand it, so that I can really know how he can do things, because it was he tied together 4 or 5 different understandings of the mortgage business to create a win for this guy that's going to pay dividends for all of us.
Wow.
And
so Sal makes you guys money, it sounds like.
he makes his money. Yeah, he absolutely makes his money all the time.
And that client in particular is happy to make us money too.
It's a win-win. Everybody wins. That's what you want.
Yeah.
So you become the problem solver instead of the order taker, right? That's what we used to say back in the day. Like if you want to take orders, you go work at Chase or you go work at a credit union. So either you're going to be the best at what you do, so that when people have a problem, they call you, because the problems are where the business grows. It's not even where the money is, but it's where the business grows, because everybody has 10 deals with people who are perfect, and then they have a problem. But the 10 people that have perfect deals are going to shop around to everyone else. If you get this one person every time, and 10 people send you that one person every time, that's 10 deals. And then that person is going to start to send these people to you too, because they don't want to deal with multiple people.
100%.
I've built a business around the operating table. Like when deals are dying, send it to me. If I can't figure it out, no one will. And if I can figure it out, I'll get it done. And I let them know within a day or two, so that I rip the Band-Aid off if it's not possible.
Right. So the target market for this event is working people that go to work every day, nurses, teachers, construction workers, that they just want a blueprint on what they can do and how they can do it. And it's simply put in front of them that this is what they need, this is what they need to, how they need to prepare, and this is how the trajectory of their life can change. And it's not overwhelming. And that's what we're going to bring to people. And that's why I'm really excited that Sal's there, is because he's going to be able to show them all these different ways in which they can utilize mortgages to win, and it's going to be digestible to them. And everyone's going to be able to go, I can do this. Now I can make a plan. Now I'm motivated because I didn't know that there was a path. And now I can see it in front of me and create the thing that somewhere in there I knew I could do. And now I'm on my way.
Oh God, it's so cool, man. It's so cool that you guys are doing this. Sal, since we have some time right now, obviously you're going to talk at this event to make it understandable for the working class and for people. And it's not an insult. It's just, we want to educate. And I want to make clear about that. But even today, before the event, first you got to go to the event. That's number one. But if you got some tips right now for the average person, because I find that people overspend, they live with the Joneses when they, but I don't know what you probably have something completely different of tip wise. I just to provide some value, man.
I mean, just off. So I would say for me, what I did when I bought my first house, I was still cutting hair. I wasn't in the mortgage business when I bought my first house. This is why I qualify for the event, I believe. But I never got paid. I never got paid with a paycheck. So for me, it was even harder, because if you think it's hard to hold on to a check that you get every 2 weeks, try holding on to $180 to $280 in cash that you make every day. You go to the store, you spend your money. So for me, it was breaking it down. All right, I need $20,000. How the fuck does that happen? It doesn't happen by just saying I need it, right? So I need to create a realistic goal of when I'm going to have it. What do I have to sacrifice to get there? $20,000 if I need it in a year is, $150 a week, which is, so it became, how much money do I have to put into a jar every single day, right? So if you can reverse engineer your first break into the real estate industry by coming up with a number of how much money you need to do it, and then how long it's going to take you to get there, now you'll have a reason not to go buy a new car or not to go shopping on the weekend. But you have to set a bar and stay underneath it. Because if the goal is just, I want to buy a house, that'll just never fucking happen. And then once you realize, once you put it on a piece of paper and you realize that the house goes up in appreciation and you get tax breaks, you realize how much easier it is to take the second step after you've taken the first. And that makes the first step much more desirable. Another piece of advice I would say is if we're talking about starting out. So when you start out, you have to realize that you're starting out, right? So your first home that you purchase should not be a home that has the pool you want, has the yard you want, has the trees you want, there's no reason that somebody's first house should be in Dix Hills ever. I don't care what the fuck you make. It doesn't matter, because you should have a house before it gets to that level. So either you should have had a house sooner, or you should be buying something that's more conservative so that you could then eventually move into where you're looking to go.
That's so good, man. It really is. You're right.
Accessory apartments, multifamilies, like for someone to say that they want to invest, but then pass up on the opportunity to purchase an asset that's going to pay for itself if they just make a sacrifice for 1 year and buy something the right way first and then the second way, then they don't really want to invest. So another piece of advice would be to just be honest with yourself. And are you investing because everyone tells you that you should, or because you really want to take a step in the right direction?
That's so good, because other people are telling you, and I can understand that. Like, that's like me, like, oh, you should invest. I'm here and I'll help people out, but it's like, you're right. People always hear, I should invest, but it's like, listen, I just want to live my life and live in the house, and that
God bless.
Go do what you got to do.
God bless.
And for me, same thing. I bought my first house in 2016. I bought it next to my parents' house. Never stepped foot in it. Rented it right out. I moved to Queens. Me and my wife had a great time in Queens and Astoria. And then when I get back in the house and after COVID, I was like, oh my God, I don't have rental income. But guess what I have in the house? Equity.
And then,
What do? Pull a HELOC out. What do I do with the HELOC? That's a home line of credit. Guess what? I can go buy another rental property and have a mortgage on it. And if my rent covers majority of the mortgage and gives me positive cash flow,
you rinse and repeat.
That's what I've done.
It's got to be something they want to do, and it's got to be something that they're willing to learn. But this is, an event like this, if you plant the seed in somebody's head, like all it ever had to be for me was the seed. Like the guy that I ended up working for was the first person that talked to me about purchasing a home. The first home that I bought had 3 kitchens. 1, 2 were illegal, but it was a
lot of cooking.
None of the kitchens were ever used either. But I put my and I was super conservative. I put my sister and her friend upstairs. I didn't get a ton of money. I put a friend of mine in the downstairs, and then I had a roommate on the first floor. And the house paid for itself day one. And I went from renting for $1,600 a month to cash flowing on a short sale that I got for $40,000 under market. $1,500 and living for free. So that, when you factor in tax breaks and cash out of pocket and gross income and all that stuff, it was like an $80,000-$90,000 a year swing in income, which was more money than I was making at my job to begin with. Nobody wants to take a sacrifice like that up front, but once you bury yourself into a hole, there's ways out of it. Or you just come to terms with, like, this is how I want to live. I know what my pension's going to look like, but financial independence it's not impossible, and it's not out of reach for 95% of people, including people that have regular jobs.
Yeah. The beauty is we're talking to people that are experts in their field. They know how to use their tools. They know everything that they know about their business. And we just have to show them what's possible to make their life better while they're doing the thing they love. And we just are added tools. And not me. Like, I don't care if they use me. I don't care if they, I don't care if they use Sal. As long as they hear this, they're probably going to want to when they hear him speak.
And if they don't want to, then that's another issue that they have to figure out on their own.
Right.
But think of it like this. Was math your favorite subject in school?
I'm terrible at math.
Okay. So
Terrible.
So art was a very bad subject for me. But I don't fucking need art, ever. So my life is not going to be significantly impacted by the fact that I can't draw a fucking tree or I can't see colors, which is also true. But your life will be significantly impacted because you don't understand numbers. So for somebody to sit there and say, well, I'm just not good at numbers, I'm not going to, like, that's instant self-sabotage from day one.
Yeah.
Am I lucky that I always took a liking to numbers, or math was my thing? Sure. But that doesn't mean that somebody who math isn't their favorite subject should just be a an iron worker for the rest of their life and never figure out finance because it's just not their favorite thing. It's not supposed to be your favorite thing. It's money.
Yeah.
And the thing about that too, I want to mention this. I told you I'm not good at math. That did not steer me away from real
Right.
estate. My wife watches my math. I have somebody like you look over my numbers. I have somebody like Pocket Pete. Is this deal? I think I got this deal right. Help me out here. Well, did you factor in this? Did you factor repairs in? And now I'm pretty savvy with it. I'm not the best, but I do need somebody else to
You need
check
other tools in your tool belt.
I do.
And we all do. I call Sal probably 3 times a day. You know, and I think I know things pretty. I know
You
my
don't
mom.
call- you don't
get,
call me
I
3
only get
times.
1 or 2 of them. Don't take it personally. But no, but
It's true.
Yeah, even in, when you say you're not good at math, the fact that you've taken the opportunity to use leverage as something to push your life forward, that's enough. That's you're past it, right? Whether you're actually good or not at numbers on the fly, the fact that you're using leverage is something we'll talk about at the event. But that's a huge thing that people don't understand the concept of and they throw out the window because they're not familiar with it.
You have to know that it exists, and these are the principles. Then you can double check with the people around you.
Absolutely. Well, we're coming to the end right now. Pete,
You know,
what do you want to deliver out there to everybody right now?
July 20th, your life changes. The Working Class Guide to Getting Rich is going to change your life. It's going to affect your family. It's going to make a world
You.
that what?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Do it all over again.
Yeah, we'll do the beep. I don't know, I guess.
Yeah.
But I muted it. Sorry.
Do it again, Pete.
Okay.
I'll prompt you
Yeah.
one more time. Pete,
Okay.
we're coming to the end of the podcast. What is your sign off for this podcast, Pete?
The Working Class Guide to Getting Rich is happening July 20th from 1 to 5. Your life changes. We are going to put in front of the entire world how to create wealth, how to use the tools and the rules the 1% use that have been hiding it from the middle class so that we can change the middle class forever and you can have generational wealth, less stress, a bigger safety net. You can live the life you deserve and you're going to learn the playbook on that day. See you there.
Before you complete the sign off, Sal, thank you very, very much for coming on the podcast. Wish we had more time, but we'll definitely hook up again. Real quick, one simple message to everybody out there. You had to deliver one message right now on the fly.
If you can't make the event, I'm sure there will be another one. But what we are pushing out to the public is, I know it's my way, and I'm sure it's Pete's way of finally feeling like we're in a position that, we've got what we've deserved by working as hard as we have for it, and now it's time to be able to push that to other people and make it possible for them. The same way that people get super rich and start giving back to charity is the same way that we've learned what we've learned, got to where we are now, and I would like to give back what I know and try to dumb it down so that it helps people start.
Love it.
Thank you so much, man. That's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.